How can you stop being worried about the future in the middle of the night, especially when you're tossing and turning and you're not able to fall back into sleep again? So in this video, that's what we're gonna look at in terms of nighttime disturbances. Now, within my client work, both in terms of one-to-one clients and the group work that I do as well, this scenario comes up in different forms, pretty much on an ongoing basis. And it's not just about what happened in terms of the last couple of years with the pandemic, but when you're not sleeping really well and it's been a long-term problem, of course, worrying in the middle of the night about the future can be quite normal. So in this video, we're going to look at why it might be happening and what you can actually do about it. So those of you who have returned to my channel and watched yet another video, this one, thank you so much for your continuous support. If you're new here, then let me just introduce myself. So my name is Beatrix Schmidt. I'm a sleep coach, a professional speaker, and the creator of the Sleep Skills for Life program, which is all about helping you overcome long-term sleep problems and insomnia so that you can really develop what I call those practical skill sets, sleep skills, hence the title, so you can really actually guarantee good quality sleep for many years to come. Sleep is a little bit more practical than just scientific, and this is again one of the things that I always talk about when it comes to this really huge picture of sleep. So if you are interested in the topic and you want to watch more videos on it, make sure you hit the like button below, subscribe, and hit that little bell as well so I can let you know when I post new videos. So let's talk about, first of all, why you might be waking up in the middle of the night worried about the future. When I look at sleep, of course, anything that happens during the day is going to affect our ability to be able to sleep very peacefully and restfully in the middle of the night. So if you are worried about something that's future related, of course that means that you have to be able to deal with it before you climb into bed. And a lot of the times what I see with clients is that people don't necessarily know how to create that very clear emotional boundary as well between the daytime and the nighttime, and training their body and the mind to know what the difference is, meaning the nighttime is for sleep and intimacy only. So when you are worried during the day, worry is of course one of the feelings that naturally as human beings we experience. So that's not necessarily a problem. What I see with clients who have had long-term insomnia or long-term sleep problems, often what can happen is everything feels bigger. Every problem feels bigger, because often we don't know whether or not we're going to have maybe the energy or the resources or the support system to actually really be able to overcome whatever challenges you might have. So often what I've seen with my clients is over the years or over the months they have had continuous sleep problems, these worries and negative thoughts and negative patterns can actually increase, because the more tired you are, of course, naturally, your body will find it harder to actually experience more positiveness. Tiredness can bring that into the picture. So the first step in actually being able to deal with things that worry you starts within the day. And again, I do talk about these different things within my work. If you're waking up worried in the middle of the night, that would have started during the day. So what I would suggest as a first step to deal with this problem is acknowledge what is it that you are concerned about or worried about. This is not about what often is being referred to worry time. I have had people who have come to me and previous advice was that you should spend time worrying about things and give it space. I generally, what I found is that tends to make things a little bit worse. But we've got to create space to acknowledge the concern and worries we might have. And that's the same with me. You know, if I have certain things going on in my day, I need to be able to deal with that too before I climb into bed. So what I would suggest is when you are actually maybe after dinner, let's say, I would like you to start with actually asking yourself the question, how am I feeling in my body? What are the emotions that are going on? Is it maybe something like worry? Or is it maybe that I'm actually feeling really good? Or is it that maybe it's another negative emotion? Obviously, we will stick with the idea of worry in this video, but there can be other different emotions that can lead to nighttime disturbances. So if you actually ask yourself the question way before bedtime, you're able to notice whether or not you are feeling that way. And that is the first step. Self-awareness is always the first step when it comes to any sleep-related problems that we want to overcome. So during or after dinner, take a few moments, take a few minutes to actually check in with yourself. Is there something going on in my mind that I haven't yet dealt with? This is that first step. The second step here is making space for coming up with a conclusion. Now, not every concern or worry about the future you can actually conclude and find a solution for. Sometimes it's more of this sense of uncertainty about the future, which doesn't necessarily have an exact plan to put in place. But when we acknowledge what's going on, we're able to actually really be able to deal with it. So if you have a particular thing that you are concerned about, what I would like to ask you is actually come up with a couple of things that you can do about that situation. You know, action steps are always a great way for us to reassure ourselves that we know what to do about the situation. If it's more an uncertainty thing, then what I would suggest here is look at ways that you feel certain in your life. And again, you want to pick up examples of the opposite. This is not about misleading yourself or pretending to be positive. This is about actually finding proof in your day or maybe the day before to actually counter that emotional negativity or worry you might be feeling. And that's a really great way because the brain is very clever. It can recall emotions, it can recall memories. And when you look for times when you felt opposite of worry or opposite of uncertainty, then it will actually bring back the feeling of that opposite. So, and again, it's a practice thing. It's a very much a practical thing. Now, moving on into the middle of the night. Now, if you start practicing this during the day, what often happens is you actually start decreasing the intensity of that emotion in the middle of the night because you're dealing with it, you are actually addressing it earlier in the day. But if it does happen in the middle of the night, what I always suggest to my clients is having a little bit of a conversation with yourself because of course the reason your thoughts are going there and you're feeling that emotion is because it's still real for you. But it doesn't mean that you can't help the body to relax and move away from that emotion and move away into a more relaxed place. So if you are worried about maybe something that goes on the next day, what I would actually ask you to focus on is being present. Being present means that it's in the middle of the night, there is nothing I can do about what might happen tomorrow yet. And actually really focusing relaxation rather than putting pressure on sleep. This is another thing that I see quite often when people have heightened emotions in the middle of the night. They actually then start putting themselves under pressure about, well, if I don't sleep, how am I going to be able to deal with that? But the reality is that if you have had ongoing sleep problems, this isn't going to be an overnight quick fix and suddenly and magically this whole problem of nighttime disturbance is disappearing. But the first thing you can do is remain more relaxed and present and focus on just relaxation without the pressure of sleeping. The more relaxed you become in the middle of the night, the more likely you're going to be able to fall back into sleep again. And I would really ask you to, instead of using the nighttime to explore the options of what to do about it, really move that into your day before you go to bed, because that's exactly why the brain is going there, because you haven't created time during the day to actually deal with what was going on at the time. So this is just one particular type of worry. There are lots of different versions that I've seen over the years. It can be directly sleep-related concerns. it can be health-related concerns, and sometimes all those different dynamics have actually different solutions to them, which is why when I look at sleep, I really look at what is the root cause of the problem, what is the root cause in this case of your concerns or worries, and actually be able to match that with the appropriate tools and techniques. And that way, anytime that happens, you'll have the tool and the technique to actually help you. But these steps that I have suggested in this video are really good to get started and help your mind to process and create a new response, create a new habit of how you're actually dealing with it. Another sort of point in this video I wanted to suggest, I have heard before that, again, advice was given that if you were in the middle of the night, you should turn the lights on, bring a notepad and start writing out your worries. I generally don't agree with that, because what that can actually cause is heighten the emotion even more. I would rather you learn to actually really stay calm, stay present in your body, actually relax, learn and teach the brain how to do that, than spend an hour writing out all the concerns you have in the middle of the night. That can become a negative habit on its own, and that means your brain will wake up every single night and want to do that writing out every single night. So again, I tend to work at this particular problem in a different way. So I hope this video has helped you. This is just one dynamic that I see with concerns and worries, so it's not going to cover every single thing that you might experience. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you hit that like button below, subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell as well, so I can let you know when I post a new video. And of course, if you've got any questions, you can pop them in the comments below, and I'm really looking forward to hearing how you are able to integrate some of these things into your life as well, so you can finally really sleep through the night without being awake in the middle of the night with concerns and worries and tossing and turning. So thank you so much for watching.